not worth it. Think about it.
You came into my life and it's so funny how you made everything right. And now you're saying to me something ain't right. What did I do? Did I hurt you? Baby, can you tell me how to dry your eyes? Let me say I never meant to make you cry. If anything, running through your advice. How did I go wrong? My love is strong and all it ever wanted was. I do is try to give you. It's not worth it. Don't tell me you want it. Don't say it's time for us to wait. Don't say goodbye. This can't be this. Baby, please, 'cause it's not worth it.
Oh my God. Can you believe it has been 20 years of Brandy's Full Moon album? This album came out in the year 2002. I was still maybe about 9 years old at the time. And around that time, the early 2002, I was still in elementary school. Brandy had just came out with the Full Moon single and announced that her album was coming out soon. And early part of that year, 2002, I was in heaven. I was in heaven. I was getting my life to Brandy's Full Moon. This album is timeless. When I'm telling you, this was when Brandy elevated in her career. And it was something different. And around the time like 2000, 2001, 2002, that was when everybody started doing this intergalactic sound. Everybody was doing this space odyssey, this new moon, this new it was a new thing, that was a trend that was going on. Everybody started getting intergalactic. And we got this from TLC's Fan Mail album. We got this from Michael Jackson's Invincible album. We got this from Aaliyah. She kind of switched up her craft around that time. And we had got this from Tyrese's album, 2000 Watts. We got this from everybody started switching up their craft. We got this from rappers. We got this from Busta Rhymes. We got this. Everybody had elevated around the early 2000s. And I grew up loving all the shit. And when Brandy came out with Full Moon, it was after the year 2001, right after Aaliyah passed. When she came out with this album, I was just in love. I fell in love. She brought something new to R&B that really, really stood out. It was something different to R&B around that time. Dark Child produced the song. This was around the time when Sonya was her manager, and it was from Norwood Inc. And y'all, I was getting my life. But Dark Child snapped. And it was a little bit after Michael Jackson's album, because we know that Dark Child and Rodney Jerkins did Michael Jackson's album, but it was right around that time. He was working on both these albums, but when Full Moon came out, baby, I'm telling you, the bops. And this is the album when she became the vocal Bible, even though she was always a vocal queen. This was when she started elevating her sound. Like, her voice started getting more mature, and her voice, she started doing a lot of different stuff with her voice, and she started adding these different layers. She started doing all these different things with her voice. Like, she was with these vibratos, and this girl was singing her ass off on this album, and I fucking live for it. And I just can't wait to get into Full Moon, because even though this album is 20 years old, I'm still going to review it the fuck anyway. So we're just going to get into this album. But Brandy tore this album up. We just going to start with B Rocka. This is when her alter ego, B Rocka, came in. She was intergalactic Brandy. And I live for it.
Brandy.
Searching. Access denied. B Rocka has been located. a dream complete. I mean, Michael Jackson was doing this shit, and Brandy was doing this shit at the same time.
What about all of that? What about all of that?
And we all know that she had a good two strong singles from this album, Full Moon and What About Us. And those were the main two songs that got the hype. I just feel like with Full Moon, the album did great, but I feel like the promotion was not that good for the album because people were living for it, but then people weren't blowing it up like they should because this album got bops on bops on bops. But we just finna get into Full Moon, my favorite song. She came out with that video and was gorgeous, and I lived for it. I loved it. It was something about this song. It had that intergalactic feel to it, but it was badass, and it was in a club, and I love it. And then the way she came in was just effortlessly.
Boy, I saw you soon as you came bouncing through the door. You and your mans and then just look all on the floor. Started doing your thing, and it made me notice you even more. The way you turned around and looked at me as soon as all.
You hear the way she is hitting them vocals? That vibrato is bad as fuck. Go on, Brandy.
Steps on up, they'll be staring on the low.
Something tells that vocal control. I'd like to get to know. Come on, come on.
I ain't even gonna front, I ain't even gonna lie. Since you walked up in the club, I'll be giving you the eye. We can dance if you want, get it crackin' if you like. Must be a full moon, but like one of those nights. This is the first time.
I mean, she tore this song up. And she didn't have to sound real high-pitched or real. She still was tearing this song up in this low register. I mean, and then she starts it off with the low register, right? But then when it gets to the middle of the song, she starts fucking it up.
I ain't even gonna
Yeah. Come on. Go, Brandy.
But like one of those nights, I didn't think that I
mean, Brandy was cold because she was one of the main artists that was doing her own background vocals, her own ad-libs. I mean, the girl is badass. Brandy is, y'all know she is one of my favorite vocalists of all time. A-list vocalist. This girl is bad as hell. I live for Brandy. This was the album I was living for. Even though I loved it, Never Say Never, and of course her very first album. But after Never Say Never, when this album came out in the early 2000s, bitch, this is when I became a star. Oh my God. Oh, come on, Brandy. It's history. It's history. The next song is I Thought. That she, and I'm going to tell you one of the things about this album is the energy. Let's get into I Thought. Hi. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I Thought was like Never Say Never, but it was intergalactic. Like, it was just the way she switched up her craft with this album. It's the way she switched up her craft for me. Because it still had a little bit of Never Say Never, but everything about each song was in space. And it was just, she went into space and turned to B Rocker on that ass. And this is what I live for. I thought that We.
Yes, I really did hurt you. Make a fool of me.
Yes.
And I cannot believe you hurt mine. You broke your love for me.
Yes.
Count all my
No,
needs.
you did.
You fulfill my every dream.
Come on. And see, this is when the vocal Bible started. She started going to church. She started going to church. Because I got this with the song called Like This, which is number 5, which is one of my favorite songs. This is when vocal Bible started. But what I thought, she said, I thought his black ass was the one, but he made a fool of me. You know, and this is what I live for about I thought. I thought is amazing. I mean, the energy. Come on. Come on. I love how she's backing herself up saying, yes, I did. As she's singing it, yes, I did. Brandy, I live for it. This is when I was living for Brandy. This is when I was fucking living for Brandy at this age. I was 9 years old, but loved this album. And right around that time, that was when I was still in elementary school, and that was when everything was, good. And I just miss these days. I really do, y'all. This is why I'm going to start doing these 20-year review of this music and these albums, because they just bring me back. But I'm going to continue. We're going to get into When You Touch Me. This song blows my head off still to this day. I just love When You Touch Me.
That's how I know I am yours. Now is the time to relax your mind. Go and unwind. I waited for too long. Got tonight's the night.
I'm telling you, this was real R&B. This was real baby making music. This was real. And Brandy is on point with the R&B, because she took R&B to another level like nobody ever did. And she just blows it up through it in the middle. Woo, listen to her voice. Come on. Come on, Brandy. Go on, Brandy. Tell her ass. Y'all know it's more than just the vocals for me. It's the music as well. I pay attention to all of the elements of music. And this is what Full Moon brought. This is what early 2000 was bringing that makes the shit still sound good to this day. This is what Michael Jackson did. This is what Aaliyah did. This is what Full Moon did those years that still make these albums sound timeless to this day. This shit can still slay in the year. We are in the year 2022 and it still slays. And I fucking live for it. When You Touch Me is everything.
Relax your mind.
Oh, she's a 10. Come on, Brandy. Come on, Brandy. Oh, this one, she started fucking it up. Come on. Oh, that's my favorite part. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part of the song. It's been 20 years. That's all I gotta say. The next song is Like This. This is brand. This is church. This is church. Get into Like This. This is my favorite song. Come on, come on, come on. This was Sonya. This was Sonya in the background. I can hear it. Brandy, you gotta do it like this, daughter. Come on, she was putting that church in there. I hear it. And then Dark Child just in the back with the music. She started off real. I had a question. Get into it. No. Come on. You gotta get into this vibrato. You gotta get into this vibrato.
I have a question. Can I take over a creation of love? Give me your attention and give me all the trust. Let me show you all of me, in addition to me. Rhythm the string to our love.
It's church. It's church all through and through.
Be everything you want.
Anything you see.
But we've been waiting for. Please touch me like this.
Oh my God. And then this is when Freaky Brandy started too. Because you gotta get into what she's saying.
Touching each other,
We gon' do it like this. I'll tell you when to kiss and you begin to kiss. Baby, I know how I feel. Come on. Don't be afraid, we're at the wheel. Come on. And enjoy it with you.
doesn't know they can
And enjoy everything that you do. Relax and I'll show you. I'll show you.
just what you do to me. Yeah.
Come on, Brandy. This is what she started going about. This is the church.
Every bit of me.
Come on, Brandy. This is vocal Bible. Every part of me, yeah. Come on.
I need you like this.
Oh my God.
Please touch me like the way I want you to, baby. Please hold me.
That's my favorite part. I was living for this shit. And then when we get to the end, as it transitions into all of me, get into it.
And if you wanna keep
Baby, I really need you.
it would mean so much to me if you touch me right there. I need you closer to me. This is the key to my love.
Y'all hear me? Let me take you there.
I need you like this.
Come on. It's the church for me. It's the church for me. I was getting my church life with this song. I love it. Then we get to the next song, which is one of my favorite songs on this album. And I felt like it was a little slept on because it should have. I really feel like a lot of these songs should have gotten radio play. I feel like they should have been singles because a lot of the songs on this album are very underrated and kind of looked over. You know, her label didn't really put, at the time, her label wasn't really pushing the best songs that they should. Of course, I love What About Us and Full Moon, but When You Touch Me should have been a single. All of Me should have been a single. Anybody should have been a single, and It's Not Worth It should have been a single. But I just love this whole album with the whole because this is when Brandy elevated in her career. This is when I fell in love with her. Even though I always loved her and coming up, but when Full Moon came out, I was just like, okay, Brandy. This is when she officially became on my list. I was young, but this is when I noticed Brandy to the T. The next song is All on Me. Now the song is weird. But it's a bop. Get into it.
There's so much going on, but you can't think of me. When your hope is gone, you can think of me to get through anything. You can think of me. I'm here as long as you need me. And if it seems to work, well, you can think of me. And heart is on a search. Let it come to me. I'll make it all reverse. When you think of me, baby, you can see no light through me. Let me be the reason you get through the day. Nothing, I'll make everything okay. Think of me, baby, in any way. I'll be all you need.
It was just something so different about this song that I love. Y'all know I like weird stuff, but it was just something about this song that really caught my attention because it's the energy of the song that I like, but it was next level. Dark Child went the fuck off on this song because it had a lot of different parts in the song that I really got into. Because then Brandy started taking her ass off in the middle of it. It was a high energy song that I didn't think Brandy could pull off, because we know Brandy is strictly R&B, but with All of Me, it was something different that I didn't think she could do, because she started doing a lot of anything you can have and eat, baby, I promise you can find. I mean, she just did a lot of different stuff that I live for. And she started singing higher.
Okay, think of me anyway. I'll be all you need. Be everything you need. Let me take it all away.
Here go. 4, 3, 4, 3, 2. Never have to do much for you. Anything that's possible, I will do too. Make it all so clear to you. Boom, 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 boom.
Anything you can have it. Baby, I promise you can find me.
Oh my God. It was just different. And this is what I loved about it. All of Me is a bop because it's smooth, but it's intergalactic, but then it's weird at the same time. All of Me was crazy, but I lived for it. The next song after that was Apart.
I never do anything that pleases you, so maybe
Now I'm gonna tell you something. All of Me, not All of Me, Apart. Sorry, I'm still stuck on All of Me because I love that song. But Apart it was different too. It still had it had a little bit of Never Say Never Brandy, but it still was intergalactic. It was something she was bringing different to the table that really got me. And to me, it reminded me a little bit of Kanye West, but this was before Kanye West came out. This was 2 years earlier before Kanye came out, because we know Kanye came out like 2004-ish, 5-ish. But this had a Kanye West vibe to it even before he came out. It had a little bit of
that is what I need. So we cannot fix it. How we write everything. How we looking for me.
and listen to. See, even with this sound, Brandy was still fucking it up with the vocals, and it was different. You didn't think Brandy could pull it off with this different type of music that Dark Child was bringing. When I tell you she took it a different level from Never Say Never, she really took it another level. It really surprised the Brandy stands, the stars. Because, bitch, we was getting our life very young. This is vocal Bible. Even with these weird songs and weird beats. She started getting, you know, as her voice started getting more mature, she started really fucking it up with the higher pitch vocals, which is why I live for about 4 months. I tried. I love it. The next song is Can We. Now, Can We begins the beginning. It's like the prelude to What About Us. Get into it. See, it's the intergalactic space vibe for me. Full Moon that still sounds good to this day. So can we figure it out? Can we talk it out? Can we work it out? Can we make it true? Can we show it through? Can we make it through? Can we figure it out? Can we talk it out? Can we work it out? Can we make it true? Can we show it through? Can we make it through? No, it's true. She bring it church. True. True. See, Can't Win still like church, but intergalactic. Bitch, get into it.
Love you.
You gotta look into the vocals. Come on, baby, you know we can't let go. So I want to stay here with you. Bitch. I live for Full Moon. It's been 20 fucking years. And this album still got me slapping my damn knees. The next song is What About Us? Now, bitch.
Don't try. B-Rocker.
Why don't you return?
You know what? I wish I had a bet. Because I live for the video. I'm going to tell you why. Because the video was so spacious and intergalactic. And she had this bat that she was just slinging, beating people's ass with. This is the Brandy. Bitch.
You don't ever come to see me.
You said that you're too busy.
What the hell I don't have time.
Why you messing with my mind?
I can't find a.
Now, What About Us was the second single on the album. They did do good because it was getting radio play. They was playing the video out on MTV Jams. They was playing it out on BET. They was playing it out 106. Was playing it. Everybody, it was getting play. It was getting radio play. And Full Moon was getting radio play. They just didn't push the album like they should have. It should have had more singles. Wasn't fit to be with. What if I told it to play? I think that. What if I said I wasn't true? So do you? You and I know without me there's no use. What about physical past due? All you said to me is baby. This is what I live for right here. But what about us to me? What about us to me? You gotta get into it. What about you gotta get into it. Even though it was a lot going on in this song, Brandy was still she was still tearing these vocals up because she was doing these harmonies with this, what about, y'all, she is just slapped. What about, come on, Brandy. Y'all, I pay attention to everything Brandy does with her vocals. Everything. Whether it's busy in the song with the music, I still can hear the vocals. What About Us is everything. Now, anybody, I'm telling you, this is when the box just kept on coming with this. I just can't. wish that it was more singles on this album because Brandy was just in that studio fucking it up. And anybody to me felt like Aaliyah. Get into it. Aaliyah, anybody had an Aaliyah vibe to it. And this is what I live for. This is what I'm living for. Get into anybody. When a beat come in, it sound like Timbaland is on the beat. I mean, we know it's Dark Child, but it got Timbaland on there to me. This is my favorite fucking song. Right there, she's trying something different. Every song hits you differently. And Brandy was just in that studio fucking it up. Don't want anybody to know. Didn't we decide that? What we do, oh my God, get into anybody. Don't want anybody.
We do it alone. Don't want anybody to know.
Understand me. See, it was giving me, it was Aaliyah-esque at the same time because this reminded me of an Aaliyah song. Never what they'll say if they look at me. This was different from Brandy. Still never realize the love that we had. Cause a new love is worth it. You know you and me. This my part. You said that you're not ready to make a commitment to me. It would take some time. Should've known before we started you. We're waiting for a remedy. In public you are so different. I know, but you treat me that bad I can't get up. Come on. Cover I don't wanna be embarrassed. Don't want anybody to know. I mean, the beat is knocking, and it still got this interconnected. It's funky, but it's intergalactic at the same time. And I really like the end of the. I really live for the end of the song. I'm gonna tell you why. Why did he snap on the end of the song like that? Why? The next song is Nothing. I mean, she just coming, she just, hey, then she slows it down with regular Brandy. Now, Nothing was Never Say Never. It was giving me Never Say Never.
Away from me for too
because
long. For you to come home, yeah. Say what is right for me.
Come on, Brandy.
Hasn't been my life.
This is when she became fucking vocal Bible. This is when she became vocal Bible.
You to come
This is it.
home, I'll be waiting. 'Cause I'm without you, baby. It's driving me crazy. No one understands.
Woo! I gotta move on. Now, we finna be on the wrong song. I'm gonna tell you why. The next song after Nothing is It's Not Worth It. I'm gonna be stuck on this song. I need to get a Now, I'm gonna tell you about It's Not Worth It. I knew this was my favorite. because it was like a part two to Angel in Disguise. This is what I know. This is like a part two to Angel in Disguise from It Never Say Never. This is like a part two. And then another fun fact about this song, the beginning part of the song samples a little bit of an unreleased Michael Jackson song. Get into It's Not Worth It.
Don't tell me you wanna.
I'm gonna be stuck.
Don't say it's time for us to quit. Don't say goodbye.
I mean, how do you come in snapping like that?
Baby, please, cause it's not worth it.
I live for it. I live for it. But while counting each other, I just think we really need to think about it before we just breathe. Come on, Brandy. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. This is the Michael Jackson. Listen to it. That's the Michael Jackson sample. And it sounds like Angel in Disguise. Woo!
You came into my life, and it's so funny how you made everything right. And now you're saying to me something ain't right. What did I do? Did I hurt you? Baby, can you tell me how to dry your eyes? Let me say I never meant to make you cry. If anything, coming to me right side. How did I go wrong?
You hear it? You hear it? The way she hitting that low registers. How did I go? You hear? She holding in them nostrils tight. How did I go wrong? You hear, bitch? I'm fucking living. Oh my God. I pay attention to everything Brandy does with her voice. To the T. Get into it.
Never wanted what you need to play. That is what I'll do. Why do you feel this way? Baby, you don't have to. Cause I don't tell me you want out of this. Don't say it's time for us to quit. Don't say goodbye, this can't be it. Baby, please come. It's not. Don't tell me you want.
Oh my God. I'm gonna be stuck on It's Not Worth It, bitch. Hold on.
Never knew
Ah!
that you heard it.
Cause it's not worth it. You mean the world to me, and all I do is try to give you all of me.
I never do anything
That would be pleasing to you.
I never knew that you heard it. I take the blame for anything that I've done that caused you pain.
Never meant to hurt you.
Anyway,
So this day, I wanna say, come on, Brandy.
baby, please forgive me.
It's Not Worth It should have been a single. I'm telling you, this was one of the best songs on here. Baby, please, cause
It's not worth it. Just leave you this way. So what I do to make it all brand new. The pain, let me take it away. Baby, I promise to make it.
Cause I will do for you.
Cause baby, I'm so in love with you. Don't tell me you won't have.
Come on, Brandy. Hey, yeah.
Don't you say goodbye to me, please, cause it's not worth it. This conversation right here.
Go, Brandy. Don't you fight me. Okay, now you are gonna hear Angel in Disguise sample in here. Watch. See, I pay attention to everything. The next song after It's Not Worth It, bitch. Full Moon. That is it. This whole album. every song. The next song is He Is. He is.
My love, my one, he is the thing. My heart, my kiss on my lips, my lover, my one, he is.
Now she really, you know what was good about the song? It was mellow, it was a ballad, and it was typical Brandy fashion. And this is what I live for. He is, but it was she turned the vocals up on this song. Come on, Brandy. Don't wanna take it slow. Come on. Woo! My God. Oh my God. The next song is Come a Little Closer.
So let's make the most of these moments together. We'll never.
Now, Come a Little Closer was Never Say Never. It was Never Say Never. Now, this is, see, the end of the album of Full Moon is when she kind of slowed it down more. She slowed it down and focused on the love ballads, and this is how she ended it. See, this was back when people was really making good albums, because the whole album tells a story. You know, and it's just Brandy. This album is timeless, and for 20 years it has been on my list. 20 years. The next song is Love Wouldn't Count Me Out.
You said if your vow couldn't make it, you shouldn't have made it. How could you?
Now, see, this song, she is just fucking it up. Gone, Brandy.
Wonder why you hurt me, working all the pain. What will make you wanna leave this way? Maybe say it's over. What is taking over? They never leave that love.
Gone, Brandy. I live for Brandy. I do. The next song is my other favorite. Wow, get into it.
He's hearing all of my hurt is gone. Every night he's loving me. I feel like inside a movie, but his love is all real to me. He's here. I finally found someone that I can't call my own. Now that I'm not with you, you want me to come back. Now he loves me. Way that I wanted you. Love me. He's always thinking of me. He's nothing like you at all. Don't know why I stay with.
Now, Wow was such a cute song because, you know, Brandy found the one, and, you know, at that time, he was the one. And, you know, and I really, really got into it. I really, really got into Wow. It was a cute song. The next song is, after that, is Die Without You.
Hard to give away.
Also featuring my boy, Ray J. Is it my turn? Go, Ray J. Is it my turn? Now, Die Without You is such a beautiful song. And I really got into it. It was so cute because it was Ray J, it was Brandy. They both featured on each other. I think this was the first song they did together in the studio. Together. I think. Yeah. I really liked the brother sister duo. I really got into it. But overall, the whole album was a 10 out of 10. Brandy, and this album still sounds good in the year 2022. And yeah, there's that. It's still a bop. And this is the album right here that I was living for Brandy. Even though I did love Never Say Never. Of course. That's timeless. But Full Moon was something to be reckoned with. Because this is still one of my favorite Brandy albums. You know, before 211, before B7, before Aphrodisiac, before, well, yeah, before them albums. So yeah, this is 20 years. I have been listening to this album forever and still listening to it. And every song. But if I had to choose my top 3 favorite songs on this album, it would be Full Moon, All in Me, and It's Not Worth It. And honorable mention. Anybody. So yes, all the whole album was 10 out of 10, and this was the year 2002 was the year, and we is it. I'm stepping into 30 this year, and this album is still. So this is 30 years, and I've been listening to. This is what started the monster, right here. This album is something to be reckoned with. But yes, no, this is 50 Shades of Phil coming back to you guys. This is my review on Brandy's Full Moon, the 20-year anniversary review. And yes, stay tuned for more. How the hell you exit?